I love it, Matt. I love it.
It's World War III Watch. We are looking at the Trump-Putin situation. We've been following this, obviously, for weeks and weeks. But it seems that more and more that Trump is not only following the Biden policies in Ukraine because he's continuing to give weapons, continuing to not do the thing he ran on, which was to end the war in 24 hours. He just keeps just unloading the money the same way. And now he's saying publicly he doesn't know what the hell's going on. He has no idea. I'm going to put this tweet up first, and then we'll get to what he did today. But this was the tweet from last week where he says I've always had good relationships with Putin. But something's happened to him. He's gone crazy, absolutely crazy. He's killing people. I don't just mean soldiers. I mean, he's just doing all this nonsense. And I always said, and this is funny. This is where we know he's basically Biden on steroids now. Because he's saying, I always said he wants all of Ukraine, not just a piece of it. And maybe that's proving to be right if he does. But it will lead to the downfall of Russia. So there's these indirect threats as he goes on from there. And then he tries to separate himself and say, this is not Trump's war. This is Zelensky's war. This is Putin's war. This is Biden's war. I'm just the guy trying to end it. But he has no idea how to end it. And then CNN did. I'm shocked CNN. Well, I'm not shocked. They like making him look bad. But it's funny. They have to pick and choose what to make him look bad at because it's making our entire war policy look bad. But here's Trump in a mashup from CNN telling us 2 weeks to end this. 2 weeks. Here it is.
Crush President Putin. You know, in about 2 weeks.
Is Ukraine doing enough to get this?
I'd rather tell you in about 2 weeks from now.
Keep saying 2 weeks about President Putin. What is 2 weeks? Give us what is the actual date? What is the timeline?
2 weeks or less, and if it's a little more at the time, I say. But you know, they're losing a lot of people.
You see those little dates up at the top? April 27th, May 19th. Today is May 28th. So 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Now we're still 2 weeks away.
Yep. And that's enough. We had enough with CNN on that one. But yeah, that's pretty much tells how ridiculous his even just his PR team is not doing him any favors to have him kind of all over the place right now. But the thing that sticks out to me, Craig, more than anything is that the part about him playing this, I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what Putin's up to. It's so weird. And it reminds me of February 2022 when the Democrats bought and sold this narrative to their base, the Anthony Blinken narrative, whoever, the Victoria Nuland narrative, which they bought and sold. They took it all with face value that Putin woke up one morning in February of 2022 and decided he wanted to take over all of Europe and the world was next and we had to stop it. Trump is going down that same line, but he must know better. This has got to be something. He's not stupid, right? He's not being told misinformation and getting confused. He must know that this happened, right? Putin's helicopter was fended off a drone attack. He must know that there are rules being broken, that there's lines being crossed. Failed assassination attempt. This was just less than a week ago on Putin. So he gets out of this, and then Alex Jones reports this next that there has been escalation by Putin. 50,000 Russian troops are amassing near Ukraine's second largest city. Preparation for major attack. This is him saying President Trump is being kept in the dark, and if somebody urged President, so Alex Jones is taking this this over optimistic. Hey, maybe he just doesn't know better. Someone tell him that you keep playing this game and you're going to be triggering World War III. We can debate all day about how much Trump is being, is he captured and just doing exactly what he's told? Does he like doing this? Is he the one initiating this disastrous plan? Or like Alex Jones is kind of suggesting here, he's innocent and he's getting bad intel on purpose. And somebody needs to say, Trump, blink twice if you're okay. All right, let's talk about this.
Yeah, go for it. First of all, the Alex Jones, and I'm going to just say this straight out before we get to the conversation, excuses. That's all they're doing. Yeah, people are constantly making excuses for Donald Trump. We saw the little mashup of 2 weeks. By the way, I was waiting for you, and you showed your age. You showed how young you were and I have the clip. There was a movie with Tom Hanks And I forgot her name. I think it was Sherry Long. It wasn't Sherry Long with it. I think that was her name from the Cheers, the original. It was called The Money Pit. Right?
I know the Money Pit, and I know Cheers.
I got the clip.
I know Shelley Long.
I got a clip. 2 weeks. There was a contract. The 2 weeks. This Italian guy. Hey, how long? Everything was 2 weeks, right? So we're gonna. Well, I got that clip. Hopefully, you'll let me play it at the end because it's so necessary. Just seeing Donald Trump saying 2 weeks, 2 weeks. It's like it's comical, right? That was the comedy back. It was called The Money Pit. It was the comedy back in the day. They bought this multi-million-dollar house and it just fell apart. It was ridiculous, and it wrecked their relationship. Whatever. So we need to play that because Donald Trump's in the same thing. But here's the thing: people are making excuses for Donald Trump. What are the reasons here? He's either being giving bad intel for real. You listen, I almost called you Jamie. Matt, we figured out what's going on ourselves right here. It's very easy to figure out. The Russians, for years, tried to get a deal from 2014 to 2022. They tried to get a deal done for a permanent ceasefire and end to hostilities. They couldn't do it. They used these things called the Minsk I, Minsk II, and other treaties in which they said they were sitting down to negotiate, and they only used that time of the negotiations taking place as a stall tactic to gear back up to continue the fight. So they used those pauses to regroup while the American and the Europeans armed the Kiev regime. So now they try to say, and this is how stupid they think you are, and Donald Trump is echoing the same sentiment, we need a ceasefire, right? We stop fighting and then we talk things out. No, you've already done that before. And the Russians have made it perfectly clear that you will not get a ceasefire. You will only get a ceasefire. You won't get it unconditionally. You will only get a ceasefire when we sit down and we talk about, number one, the causes of this war, the root causes of this war, and number two, an end to the hostilities altogether. We have a settlement on land, on dispute and whatnot. We're not going to stop fighting until that happens. Why? We're winning the war. You killed ethnic Russians in the Donbass. You created this situation. You kind of jostled and lobbied that you were going to join NATO, and we said we will not allow Ukraine to be in NATO on our border. You've done so many things, and now you want to sit there and you think your people are so dumb that you can say he's not doing a ceasefire and he's crazy. I mean, he is Donald, and he's become Joe Biden on steroids. And Mark Slobodka told us 3 weeks ago on the show on the Truth Wire, it's like pretty soon Donald Trump will be capitulating to the Joe Biden position.
No, and he is. This is the position.
This is the position. Putin wants to take over. So the excuse is either one, he's getting bad information, or two, he's too stupid, or three, which is the one I think is he's doing what he was put there to do.
Exactly what he was put there to do.
Lie to the people. Keep the military-industrial complex going. Nothing was ever going to change. He should do what he said. There is no excuses because here's the thing. As commander-in-chief, he can do this. Zelensky, you take a deal. I can tell you what, I'll give you asylum. You can stay here in Miami so your own Nazis within your own party won't kill you. The Azov battalion, you can come here. You can call an end to the war. I automatically cut off the spigot. I have that power. I'm the president. I'm the commander-in-chief. I can cut off the spigot, hit the switch. In 2 weeks, you'll be out of weapons. You can't fight this war anymore. It's done. You accept the territories that are there that they've taken, right? And we start the process of rebuilding. We'll help you rebuild Ukraine. BlackRock's already there and stuff. You already gave us the minerals. Let's go to work. You can do that. He's not doing that. He's making excuses. And why does he make excuses? Because his base will buy it, Matt. They'll go along with him no matter what. The social engineers know that. Him being too stupid is not an excuse. He's not giving bad advice. He's one of them. He's protecting them. The elites. Sorry. You've been played.
And we're
perfect example. Ukraine. You've been played.
We're being played in real time, and we know that the checkbook that never ends, the faucet, the money faucet that never
money laundering scheme, right?
It's the same faucet. You can't turn it off for Ukraine. You can't turn it off for Israel. That one you turn up on higher volume of just raining money, just unlimited money. We know that if you turn off that faucet, that's a damn good start. If you want to talk about ending something in 24 hours or 48 or 2 weeks or whatever the hell the metric line is, start by turning off. So the fact that he keeps doing the weapons deals with Ukraine, that should say enough right there. That's it.
And Lavrov, who's the defense minister, started to cut you off, Matt, but Lavrov has made it perfectly clear. You want a ceasefire unconditionally, but yet you want to still continue to send weapons? Like he said that specifically. Like, are you kidding me? You fooled us 3 or 4 times on that. 2 times in particular with Minsk 1 and Minsk 2. Like if you understand the situation, you understand what's going on. There is no excuses. Donald Trump is not doing that. And now, like he said, I'm glad you said it. He's capitulated back to Joe Biden on steroids now.
Yeah.
Vladimir Putin's a madman. No, not at all, you idiot. Like, turn off the spigot. And let me tell you something. I'm always going to push back in an anti-imperialist, anti-war mentality. I want to see the killing of babies in Gaza to stop, the mother and women and children in Gaza to stop, people being starved out in Gaza to stop. But if this war were to end over here, where it's almost 1 million lives now we're talking about, there's a piece of me that we're like, all right, thank God that has ended right there. Thank God. It's still, the fight continues to stop the other wars everywhere else. But this whole Donald Trump wants to end wars is such a lie. He's going right along, and people are buying into his rhetoric.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of people out there who, the biggest useful idiots out there. Like I said, these Laura Loomer types who are acting like Donald Trump is fighting all the industries and the deep state in his presidency right now. He's going along and capitulating with them every single step of the way. You have gotten nothing. The medical freedom movement has got nothing. The anti-war movement has gotten nothing. The only people who've gotten stuff are the people who are so xenophobic that they think that getting immigrants out of this country or something that's going to really help us all out. You're the only people who got something. The lowest denominator of mentality in this country, the foreigners here are killing us. Those are the people that got something. And they didn't even get a lot too as well. Because they're not getting rid of a lot of people because Donald Trump's friend depend on that cheap labor, baby. So you've been fooled even there too as well.
Yeah. One more thing that's worth pointing out in this situation with Putin. Putin, what we've taken for granted this entire time, and when I say entire time, you mentioned the Minsk agreement, the agreements that NATO broke over and over. We keep lying. We keep saying not 1 inch forward, not 1 inch forward of NATO to east, and then we lie and do it. And don't worry, Ukraine's not going to join NATO. No, now we're going to pressure them to join. So all these different lie after lie. We've been taking for granted Putin's demeanor, Putin's calm, Putin's ability to be calm and collected before making a decision, versus our leaders who like to act off impulse and emotion and craziness. What if that ability that Putin has runs out? What if there's a breaking point for him? I'm just going to play this because this is important. Putin mentions the lying and deceiving of NATO. How can we make a deal? Why would anybody make a deal with an organization like NATO who's proven time and time and time again to lie? Well, he kind of points it out here, and this part might be the most concerning of all. Regardless what Trump is tweeting out on Truth Social, Putin is saying this.
Обманули всех подряд о том, что НАТО не будет расширяться на восток. Но наши исторические территории с населением русскоговорящим в НАТО не оборзели, нет?
What the F is wrong with them?
You should have lowered that. We couldn't hear you. You should have had that lowered.
Мало то, что
not only did they lie to everyone about that NATO will not expand to the east, but our historical territories with Russian-speaking populations in NATO, what the F is wrong with them?
Yeah. It's almost as like I had no choice to do what I had to do. I tried to freaking find peace. I've tried. Listen, since Putin has become somewhat, when he started rubbing elbows with George W. Bush, he's come to George W. Bush and talked, listen, we have a situation over here with Chechens in Russia. They're being funded and fueled by the CIA. You know what I'm saying? These are attacking Russian ethnic-speaking people. Come on. And now you have a situation like in Ukraine where you have clearly the western part of the country that are led and have, Banderite fashions. In other words, Ukrainian Nazis, streets named after these Stefan Bandera, who was the Ukrainian Nazi that fought with the Nazis during World War II. You have those mentality of people firing on ethnic-speaking people and Russians in the East, where the East, parts of that fought with the Soviet Union during World War II and killing them. Like, you're killing these people. What the F? Number one, that's crazy. And what do you think I have to do? And we've said this before, if it was a bunch of English-speaking people in Mexico on the border of the United States near Texas, and they were being killed by the Mexican government, a bunch of Americans that were living there, expats, what do you think our government would do? Yeah. Forget about it. They would go crazy. So they knew this would happen. They did it on purpose. They wanted a war. They don't care about lives. Our foreign policy apparatus has, and Donald Trump hasn't done anything to change it. Okay, he's gone along with it, and he did. He in that Truth Social tweet. Can you put that Truth Social tweet up real quick? Because I want to analyze that just briefly and quickly, and we can move on because I know we have a schedule to keep. But when he says, "I've always said that he wants all of Ukraine," right? Where's the part like?
Yeah, it's in the middle.
Everything out of okay. Yeah. This war would have never started if I were president. This is Zelensky's, Putin, and Biden's war, not Trump's. People actually believe that. Yet he's sending the same people, the same, Kellogg, people of the same mentality. Lindsey Graham he sent to Turkey, right? Just to be there, not in the room, but to be there and meet with the Ukrainians who were advocating and trying to sit down and talk with peace with Russia over there. He was with Lindsey Graham before that, the Ukrainian representative. I mean, you're doing the same thing. You have the same language. That you did escalate this war, right? You started off. You gave Zelensky lethal weapon, and what's the excuse? He was given bad advice again by his people again, Matt. Yeah. You even said I gave you javelins to fire on those Russian tanks. Oh, Biden gave you sheets. I gave you javelins. Record-breaking contracts, a ton of weapons went. You escalated this war. You have a part to play. And guess what? Let's wipe this out. Let's say you didn't. It's your war now. You can cut off the spigot if you want. You're not doing so. So it is now your war. It's on your lap. And too many people believe this rhetoric. And this rhetoric has been in a hyperdrive. It's not my war for the last month and a half since he's been backed into a corner. And his people that control him won't let him get out of this war.
Yeah, and that's
2 weeks.
And here we are. 2 more weeks.
Can we play the video?
2 more weeks. And that's
let me play the video really quickly for 2 weeks. Put it up.
Let's do it again. Let's do the video. Okay.
It's a quick one. 2 weeks, the money pit. Donald Trump, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you can share it.
Hey, I never thought I'd say this, but shout out to CNN for this mashup, right? I mean,
I'm gonna play my video 2 weeks.
Oh, your 2 weeks.
Yeah, but share my video.
You got it cleared up. You got it cleared up. Okay, here we go.
Do you think all that'll take? 2 weeks. Really?
Joe Montana.
Any idea when you're going to be finished here?
2 weeks.
How long will it take to put this place together?
2 weeks. I do get the permits. How long will the job take? 2 weeks. 2 weeks? 2 weeks? You sound like a parakeet there. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Well, 2 weeks. It's amazing. Amazing nothing. It'll be a regular miracle.
Yep.
That's it. Package can record all your.
There it is.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
And by the way, don't forget an oldie but a goodie. 2 weeks to slow the curve. 2 weeks to slow the curve.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a good. Yeah.
Donald Trump is just. I'm sorry, man. The dude is a clown. He is the jester that they put out in front of you, and the fact that you guys are going along and believing this stuff all the time, it's sad. It really is, guys. I'm so sorry. We had our moment with Obama. We were scared to talk up. You guys just the majority of people want Donald Trump to be an outsider. They want him to be, taking on the deep state. And, it's only been 4 months, Matt.
I got to give him a little more credit. You can have this conversation with MAGAs. I'm telling you, we were not allowed to have a conversation with our own base when Obama was doing it. No, we were not.
I get it, but here's the one thing.
I gotta give
a little credit, but they still come across with the bullshit. They still want to believe. Here's the thing.
But Craig, I'm gonna have to push back on you. Being allowed to have a conversation is the starting point. If people, we talked about Dr. Shiva earlier, the people that won't let you finish a sentence, there's no hope. Our base treated us like that. The Bernies, quit your whine, Sarah Silverman, quit your whining, you Bernie bro. Pieces of shit. I'm telling you, man, you can have a conversation with MAGAs, and that's a starting point. So let's stop punching down on them.
Let me just say this much.
Let's stop punching down on them and at least acknowledge that they're willing to listen to our experience. And we're saying we're using our experience to educate you on this is how it goes.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. There's a lot more of them that believe on the right that didn't believe on the left. We weren't allowed to have those conversations because the Democratic Party said no. But there's
our neighbors and families and friends
such
said
a
no.
small amount compared to the huge amount of MAGAs that want to believe. Is a big difference. So yes, you're right. At least they listen, but there's so much more. When I said that, I never thought the level of hero worshiping and uplifting of a person would ever reach the limits and the height that Obama hit. The Trumpers said, hold my beer. And they've crushed that. They worship this guy no matter what. There's a lot more of them than there is of us that can't speak. You know what I'm saying? That actually believe. We were just told by the leadership of the Democratic Party to shut up. There was a lot more descendants on the left than there are on the right. And I believe that. There's a lot more homeless left. There's a lot more homeless left than there is homeless right. That's all I got to say.
The tide might be turning gradually, but it's because we're having these conversations and they're listening. That's the point. So let's keep doing this. Let's keep doing this before the whole world blows up from World War III. That was the whole point of this.
We got to find the bunkers underground or start building our own.